It's a tiny word, just 5 letters. Sorry, but for you, it's not just a word. It's a shield. It's a reflex. It's the punctuation at the end of every thought you're not sure you were allowed to have. You say it when you ask a question. Sorry, but what time is it? You say it when you have an opinion. Sorry, I just feel like... You say it when someone else bumps into you. Oh, sorry. You even say it to inanimate objects. You hit your elbow on a table and you whisper, sorry. It's a constant, quiet hum of apology that follows you through your day. And the people around you, they've probably even commented on it. You apologize way too much, they laugh. You laugh too, and your stomach drops, and you say the only thing you know how to say, sorry about that. And the irony hangs in the air, thick and unspoken. This isn't about politeness. Politeness is a conscious choice. This feels different. This feels like a compulsion. This feels like a flinch. This is the hidden psychology of those who always apologize. And it's one of the most misunderstood and most painful survival mechanisms in the human psyche. Because on the surface, you look kind. You look accommodating, selfless, easygoing. You are the peacemaker, the one who never causes trouble, the one who smooths things over. People might even praise you for it. You're so considerate, they say. You're so humble, but inside you are crumbling. Inside you are exhausted, because what they see as humility, you know is fear. What they see as kindness, you know is a desperate negotiation. You are negotiating for your right to exist. You are trying to soften yourself, to shrink yourself, to make yourself so small that you become frictionless, unrejectable. You have learned somewhere deep in your past that being too much is dangerous, that having needs is a fast track to abandonment, that your voice, your anger, your desires are burdens on the people you love. So you apologize. You apologize for the space you take up. You apologize for the air you breathe. You apologize for having needs before you even voice them. I'm so sorry to ask, this is probably a stupid question, but... And this is the tragedy. The apology that was meant to keep you safe is the very thing now keeping you trapped. It's a cage built of your own sorries. It doesn't just affect your confidence. It poisons your relationships. You can't receive love because you feel you haven't earned it. You can't accept a compliment because your first instinct is to deflect it, to apologize for being seen. Oh, this old thing? Sorry, I look a mess. You can't set a boundary because saying no feels like an act of aggression. It feels like a declaration of war. So you stay in jobs you hate, with bosses who undervalue you. Sorry, I'll get that done right away, you say, as they pile more work on you at 5 p.m. You stay in friendships that drain you, playing the therapist and apologizing for having a bad day yourself. You end up in romantic relationships where you are the professional fixer, the emotional caretaker, apologizing for your partner's bad moods, managing their feelings, and forgetting you even have your own. Your entire life becomes a preemptive apology for your own existence. And deep down, underneath the mountain of sorries, a quiet rage is building, a frustration, a deep, profound grief for the self you were never allowed to be, the self who could speak without flinching, the self who could stand tall, the self who believed they mattered, without having to apologize for it. Today, we are going deep into the psychology of the chronic apologizer. We are not just talking about a bad habit. We are talking about a deep-seated survival script, likely written in childhood, that is still running your adult life. And if you don't understand why your brain equates sorry with safety, you will spend the rest of your life as a ghost in your own story. You will live on the sidelines, apologizing to the players, never realizing you had a right to be in the game all along. Because the real question isn't why you apologize so much. The real question is, what are you so terrified would happen if you stopped? So, what are you so terrified would happen if you stopped apologizing? Let's be precise. You're not afraid of the word no. You're afraid of the silence that follows it. You're afraid of the flicker of disappointment in their eyes. You're afraid of the sigh, the shift in energy, the text left on read. You are terrified of being perceived as difficult, as selfish, as too much. You are, at your core, terrified of conflict. And even more than conflict, you are terrified of abandonment. Here is the truth. This is not a personality flaw. It's not a bad habit you just need to break. It is a survival script. It is a deeply programmed trauma response that you learned, brilliantly, to keep yourself safe. To understand why you do this, we have to go back to the room where the script was written. Children are not born apologizing. They are taught. They are taught in households where their needs are treated as an inconvenience. They are taught in environments where love is conditional, where it is given as a reward for being quiet, for being good, for not having needs. This is what psychologists call parentification. It's what happens when a child is forced to become the emotional caregiver for the adults in their life. Maybe you had a parent who was depressed, or angry, or an addict, and without a single word, you learned that your job was to manage their feelings. A child's mind can't comprehend. My father is struggling with his own demons. A child's mind concludes, Dad is yelling. What did I do wrong? A child can't think, my mother is emotionally exhausted. They think, Mom is sad. I must have made her sad. I have to fix it. You learned to read a room before you could read a book. You learned that your own needs, your anger, your sadness, your excitement, were like sparks in a gas-filled room. Dangerous, volatile. So you learned to extinguish yourself. You became the peacemaker, the good child, the invisible one. And what is the peacemaker's most powerful tool? What is the one word that can stop a fight? Diffuse tension? Make an angry adult soften? I'm sorry, in trauma psychology, we talk about the 4 threat responses: fight, flight, freeze, and the one no one talks about. Fawn. Fawning is the instinct to appease, pacify, and overserve a perceived threat to regain safety. It's the act of abandoning yourself to prevent being abandoned by others. And the chronic apology is the language of the fawn response. Every sorry you uttered as a child was a brilliant, desperate bid for safety. I'm sorry didn't mean I am accountable for a mistake. It meant, please don't yell at me. It meant, please don't leave me. It meant, please love me. I will be whatever you need me to be. Just please don't be mad. You learned that your authenticity was a price you had to pay for attachment. Now, fast forward 20 years. You're an adult. The war is over. The volatile home is, hopefully, in your past. But your nervous system didn't get the memo. It is still running that old, outdated survival software. This is why it feels like a compulsion. Your boss asks you to stay late. In your head, you think, I can't, I'm exhausted. But your boss lets out a heavy sigh. That sigh is all it takes. Your nervous system hears the sigh and flashes a giant red danger signal. It mistakes your boss's mild annoyance for your parents' dangerous rage. And before you can even think, the fawn response kicks in. Oh no, it's fine, I'm so sorry, of course I can. My fault, you just apologized. Not for a mistake, but to manage their sigh. This is the mechanism. Your brain is in a state of hypervigilance. You are constantly scanning the horizon for threats, and you have defined threat as anyone's potential disapproval. The strategy that once saved you is now imprisoning you, because when you apologize for your existence, you are sending 2 messages. To the world, you are saying, my needs don't matter. You can cross my boundaries. I am not important. And to yourself, you are reinforcing that same terrible lie you learned as a child, that you are a burden, and that, to be loved, you must first be invisible. So, here you are, an adult, standing in the present moment, but your nervous system is still stuck in the past. You're a soldier still in combat, even though the war ended years ago. You understand why you do it. But how, after a lifetime of flinching, do you finally learn to stand still? How do you teach your body that safety and self-abandonment are no longer the same thing? The first thing you must understand is this. You cannot fix this. This isn't a bug in your system. It was a feature. It was a brilliant adaptation that kept you safe. You don't fix a brilliant adaptation. You honor it. And then you gently, lovingly show it that its job is done. Healing from this is not a one-time event. It is a practice. It is the moment-by-moment act of choosing yourself. And it begins with 2 simple, revolutionary steps. First, you must learn to use the pause. The urge to apologize is a reflex, like pulling your hand from a hot stove. It's faster than thought. You can't stop the urge from coming, not at first. But you can learn to create a tiny sliver of space between the trigger and the apology. The trigger happens. Your friend sighs, your boss looks at their watch, someone questions your idea. You feel that familiar jolt of panic. The sorry is right on your tongue, hot and ready. In that instant, you do one thing. You pause. Just for 1 second. You breathe. You do not speak. You just feel the panic, the discomfort, the screaming in your brain that says, fix it, appease them, apologize, and you just sit with it. That 1 second pause is the beginning of all freedom. In that pause, you are breaking a pattern that has run your entire life. You are telling your nervous system, I know you're scared, but we are not in danger. Let's wait. Most of the time, you'll find the danger you anticipated never arrives. The person wasn't mad, they were just thinking. The world doesn't end. Second, in that pause, you make the swap. You don't just stop apologizing. You replace the apology with what you actually mean. This is how you reclaim your power, 1 word at a time. You learn to swap the language of appeasement for the language of gratitude and fact. So, when you're late, instead of, I'm so sorry I'm late, I'm the worst, you pause, you breathe, and you say, thank you for waiting for me. One is a confession of your unworthiness. The other is an appreciation of their patience. Instead of, sorry to bother you, but you say, do you have a moment? Instead of, sorry, this is a stupid question, but you say, I have a question. Instead of, sorry, I'm just rambling. You say, this is important to me. This isn't just a word game. This is psychological warfare against your own conditioning. You are retraining your brain to understand that you are allowed to ask questions. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to have needs. And you are allowed to be grateful to others instead of apologizing for your own existence. But the real work, the deepest work, goes beyond language. It's about what you do with that inner child who is still so terrified. When you're in that pause, and you feel that panic rising, that is the ghost of your childhood self, terrified of being abandoned. And your job, as the adult in the room, is to stop managing the other person's feelings and start parenting your own. You must learn to turn inward in that moment. Mentally, you say to that scared part of you, I know you're scared. You're not in trouble. I am here. You are safe with me. You don't have to shrink. I will not let you be abandoned. You become the protector you always needed. You stop looking for a savior in your partners, your friends, or your boss, and you become the safe harbor for yourself. This is the end of the Fawn response. This is the beginning of true self-possession. And here's the beautiful paradox. When you stop apologizing for everything, your apologies finally mean something. When you do make a mistake, because you will, you are human, your I'm sorry will no longer be a flinch. It will be a choice. It won't be an act of appeasement. It will be an act of accountability. And that is true strength. This journey is about realizing your worth is not, and never was, negotiable. You do not have to earn your place here with kindness. You do not have to purchase your right to speak with self-reduction. You were born with the right to be here. To be loud, to be quiet, to be certain, to be wrong. You are not a burden. You are not too much. You are a person. And you never ever have to apologize for that.